The Fashion and Retail Entrepreneurs Business Management Program is presented virtually with some of the top fashion business experts in the Western Hemisphere. And you just heard a little bit from one of them, who I'm going to introduce to you in just a few minutes. But our partners specialize in finance, fashion law, accounting, tax and compliance, marketing and branding, supply chain, internationalization, and all aspects of ensuring your company's growth. The program was developed in partnership with the Global Entrepreneurship Network, or GEN, and GEN fosters cross-platform collaboration among entrepreneurs, investors, builders supporting businesses, the ecosystem, and over 180 countries. Our mission is to help you navigate these difficult and ever-changing times and guide you to commercial success so the buyers will stop at your stand next time. The GFBA team are the industry leaders. We've come together to create a solid platform for education, information, and resources on best business practices. And it's an incredible opportunity for brands to be guided by true industry professionals. Today, all of these efforts have morphed into the GFBA's 8-week Fashion and Retail Entrepreneurial Business Management Program. And this is a comprehensive, unique, and virtual program that is available to everyone. To give us some more content on the program, I'd like to invite Sergio Menquita from Gen Accelerates to walk you through it. Sergio.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Beth, and greetings to everybody from wherever you are. I'm in what is usually sunny Miami, but it's going to be the tail end. So as we speak through this, you'll see a nice little glow of something give me a special lighting on my face. So don't be surprised with that. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to learn a little bit more about what we've put together. We're excited to tell you more about it and happy to answer any additional questions as the time permits for this. First and foremost, we wanted to let you know that when we started looking at the landscape of the fashion education and what was available, we really saw that there was a void. There was a void between what was available and the business and where that marriage happened. So what we saw were that the programs that existed were either too elementary or too theoretical. And so we wanted to create a best-in-class curated program, one that was really based on the tenets of accelerators, the way that they're normally set up in Silicon Valley. What we wanted was really to put together a program that was practical, a program that really built on the experience of real subject matter experts that have deep industry knowledge and experience. But at the same time, we wanted this practical program to be inclusive and to be able to be applicable to every type of entrepreneur in fashion, regardless of whether they're a designer, a distributor, a retailer, and of course that it really touched all tenets of the fashion landscape, if you will, right? So all landscapes, all spectrums. So it doesn't matter whether you're in accessories or swimwear or evening wear, leisure wear, even bridal wear, right? The way to do business and to launch something and to sustain it and to scale it is there's a roadmap, there's a blueprint for that, if you will, right? So what this program does is you do that as a foundation and then pepper it in with the subject matter expertise of all of our different experts, if you will. The 8-week virtual program is basically set up on four different components, if you will, right? There's practical education, there's live mentoring, there's pitch practice, and then there's a demo day, okay? So I'm going to walk you through those aspects now so you can decipher it and get through it a little bit better, okay? So when we look at practical education, right? So the way that the practical education is, each week there's weekly modules, okay? And in these modules, we tackle different topics. So you see them there on the screen. Everything from the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, customers and APIs, product and pricing, sales and strategic partnerships, which are foundational, which I know Ron will touch on a little bit later on today. And then we get into the stuff that's a little bit more nitty-gritty, that perhaps some of you are not as comfortable with, but as CEOs, as entrepreneurs, it's important for you to know about. Aspects about equity, finance, cash flow, Okay. And then we get into the fun stuff, the stuff that we always gravitate towards because it's comfortable, marketing and public relations. But obviously, there's a lot of nuance as well when it comes to the admin components, whether it's legal, taxes, intellectual property, or what have you. Okay. So with each week, there's video lessons, there's reading material. It's all done through a proprietary online platform, which is really amazing. It's a full dashboard that gives you access to it. And think of it as this way: each week is iterative, so it builds on each other. Okay. So between the video lesson, the reading, and then there's always going to be an assignment or a deliverable that allows you to take all the components of what you learned about to your particular brand, business, venture, whatever it might be, and put it into action. Okay, and that's deliverable. That's the homework assignment, if you will, right? And with every single one of these challenges, that's how you're able to propel your business forward. So that's aspect one. Aspect two is the component of live mentoring. Okay. We know that each one of you has a unique story, has a unique idea, right? And there's different nuances to each of your businesses, whether you're conducting business in Central America or in Mexico or in Asia and are trying to enter into the US, right? So to that end, that's where mentoring really kicks in. And the mentoring, think of this as office hours like we had back in college, right? Where you come and it's your time to really ask the types of questions as it relates to a business challenge that you're trying to solve or something that was in that week's portion of the educational component, if you will, right? So for this, we do a combination of group mentoring as well as individual mentoring to really be able to maximize the most from all of that. Okay. The third aspect of it is pitch practice and development. Okay. At the end of the day, we know that your creations are awesome, they're great, but they're only as good if people see them, if people sell them, and if they tell other people about them. Okay? So for that point, you're going to have to be able to sell yourself, sell your collection, and sell the reason why they should care or why it matters. Okay, so these will help you go ahead and put together your pitch deck. And this pitch deck is one that you will be ready to actually get in front of buyers, actual buyers, as well as strategic partners or anything in between there that really weaves together the storytelling aspect of your brand, of who you are, of why it matters, and how you differentiate yourself, right? We do this on a weekly basis because we know that it's a tough process and that everybody needs a safe space, a dress rehearsal, if you will, that we keep doing it and keep reiterating because there's the visual aspect. There's also the part about phrasing. There's the part about tone and tonality. So all of these things we're going to work with you and your team to be able to do it. Because at the end of the day, your executive team is the one that really needs to be able to deliver this pitch consistently, authentically throughout the entire process. Okay? Then we get to leg number four. Leg number four is demo day. Demo day in our traditional accelerator days is demonstration day. Okay? For our purposes, this is the day where it's kind of like your graduation. And what are you going to do? You're actually going to present yourself, your company, your brand, your collection in front of a panel. This panel is probably going to be a combination of potential buyers, strategic investors, strategic partners, or something of that nature, right? So it's really to be able to have that experience and to go through it, which at the end of the day, with a targeted message and with a polished message, you're going to be able to open doors, right? And through opening those doors, you're going to get referrals and get on to the next one, right? In a cohesive way. So those are the aspects of the main components of what the program is. And I'm sure you're probably guessing at this time who are the subject matter experts and what's their story. Beth, can you tell them a little bit more about that?
I can, and I shall. This is our advisory board for the Global Fashion Business Alliance, and they are the top fashion business experts in the American market. Tim Moore is the Executive Vice President of Hilden Corporation in New York City, and he is the top leaders in fashion, finance, and factoring. That company, Hilden, represents over 500 of the top American designers. Next to it is Nancy Marino. Nancy is an absolute supply chain expert. She's been on the board of directors for Walmart and many other major corporations. Stuart Mayer, he's the manager of Prager Mattis, which is an accounting firm in New York City, and they have specialties in fashion and retail accounting. Chris Vignon, he's the president of PM Business Advisors, and they are tax and compliance with a specialty in fashion and retail. And these are very important elements that you need to have in your business, because you can have an accountant, but they don't have a specialty in the fashion and retail market, they're going to be missing a lot. And we don't want you to do that. David Pilnick, he's the president of Pilnick and Associates. David is the one who opened all the Saks Fifth Avenue stores in the Middle East and Mexico. Ron Thurston, who you spoke to a second ago, and he'll be joining us in just a minute, is an author and retail expert. His new book is Retail Pride, which is #1 on Amazon. And so we'll tell you his story in just a minute. Danielle Garno is a fashion law attorney with Reed Smith in Miami. And Steve Trainer is the president of the Barbarian Agency and an expert in branding and social media marketing. So these are all the elements that you need in your business plan in order to run your business correctly. You've got finance, you've got marketing, you've got accounting, you've got tax and compliance, you've got supply chain, you've got business development, you've got law, you've got everything that you need is going to be in this program. And that's why we put it all together like this. It's a very impressive group of industry experts, and they are your mentors and advisors and teachers in the GFB program. And nowhere will you find such a group of experts together in one place. So Sergio, go ahead.
Perfect. So now that you understand a little bit more about the way that the program is set up and who are the people behind it that have helped to shape the curriculum and the mentoring and all of that, you probably need to have a little bit more context as to how it's delivered. Okay, so this is a very unique program because it doesn't matter where you are, you can still be part of the program because it's online, it's virtual. Okay, and everything is done in a cohort. Cohort is another fancy word for a group, right? So we like to do groups that have between 6 and 10 entrepreneurs to be able to launch one and get one going. Okay, and remember that each company can bring up to a total of 4 different executives, right? They put all that together for the program. So it's about having the conversations together, being able to be strategic about it together, and they're hearing everything at the same time. So it's not like you have to repeat something to them or what have you. Okay. The way that this is all done, again, through the proprietary platform, which is called FlightPath, you have access to your recorded material, to your reading material, to your calendar notices. There's a section, a Facebook-ish type of section to mingle and to network with other people, with other cohorts in there. That's where the announcements are as well. And that's where you can also interact with your mentors as well on a weekly basis. So this is all done. It's all integrated very seamlessly, regardless of geography. This same platform is the same one that Jen uses for the Entrepreneurship World Cup, which happens every fall in November in Saudi Arabia. Last year, this platform supported over 160,000 entrepreneurs at the same time who were competing or being part of different educational programs. Okay, so when you consider the coursework, the reading, the deliverables, being in session, being part of the workshops, being part of the mentoring and the pitch practice, you should probably set aside between 10 to 15 hours a week to be able to do this productively and correctly. Okay. At the same time, there will also be bonus or added sections in specific weeks that through the content library, you'll be able to have access to and use as necessary. Okay. Some of you have probably looked at different types of programs to see which one really fits my needs. Okay. In our competitive assessment of the landscape, nothing like this exists. Could you do this in 3, 4, or 5 different ways to kind of band-aid them together? You could, okay? But what ends up happening is that it doesn't have an overarching theme. It doesn't have an overarching strategy. It doesn't have an overarching purpose that really connects everything. And that's where we really took the time and the effort and really listened to a lot of subject matter experts and business advisors to really be able to put that cohesively to make the best experience for the entrepreneur, for the user.